Hello everyone, Seth here from Cubicle Productions, and welcome to what is a very, very special video for me because I will be talking with Kraig Adams from Wedding Film School and Emissary Studios. You can check him out right there, up in the corner thingy. Is it the eye? If it's the eye, it is that corner, so check him out up there. He will be giving me a coaching session. There will be some mild language, but that's totally alright. But I hope you guys enjoy. Here's the video, right here. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Well, my main computer is it's back here sleeping right now, but it's been running a render for like 12 hours solid because I did some animation. It's still going.
Oh, wow. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's nice that you have an awesome microphone, though. I'm so used to people talking with just their computer microphone, and it's always difficult.
This was actually the first piece of equipment I ever got. So
yeah,
this microphone and I go a long ways back.
It's perfect for YouTube stuff. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So you met him in college?
Yes.
Referring to Danny.
I was, yeah.
Talk to me about that relationship. You guys are like a tag team on Twitter, and it sounds like you guys are doing some good work together. So what was that relationship like?
Well, so every semester, the university has this humans versus zombies game that's like a bunch of people running around the campus with Nerf guns and just like shooting each other up, basically. There's zombies, there's humans. I was the guy that always wore the GoPro. Every time I went out, I had a GoPro on my head. I recorded literally everything. And we just kind of got to know each other through that. And I think it might have even been the last day of that whole tag team thing. He asked me if I wanted to second shoot on a wedding with him that he had for a couple of friends going on this past December now. And I think at the time I had only personally done one wedding, and I didn't even know really what proper wedding cinematography was. So as a result,
what is it?
What is it?
Yeah, what is it anyway?
Well, and I mean, I actually did it. I ended up using a event style videography. So I set up my Nikon in the back loft of the church, and that was I had the zoom lens on that, so I could go in and get close. And I had my GoPro set up direct center to capture a wide view of the whole place. So whenever I had to transition between clips on the Nikon, I would just fade out to the GoPro for a few seconds, and nice and seamless.
Nice.
But I only ended up doing the ceremony. So I didn't understand that there was this idea of it'd be kind of cool if people did short films of the whole day. And the first thought that came to my mind was, wow, it's already hectic enough, but dang. Now we're going to make a movie out of it.
Lots to do.
So once I ended up accepting Daniel's invite for the wedding event, he basically said, well, I'm going to do a little short film with this. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. That that must be a lot of extra work. And then I started watching your channel. He referenced me over to your channel, and okay. I realized wow, this is way bigger and also way cooler in a lot of ways than what I originally thought. What traditional wedding videography was. So.
Yeah, it's when you think of these ideas pigeonholed into what you kind of have to do, it can be kind of boring and depressing, but I say you can make anything fun. When people say wedding videography, people think, old style, but as long as you're doing and having fun, you can make it your own, and it can be cool. So why not?
No, I absolutely love the idea. It's such a worthy day for something that beautiful. I've always wondered what are the events of life that you would put in a movie, and so hearing that weddings were a thing, wedding videos, wedding movies were a thing, was both surprising and not surprising at the same time. So we're just kind of really starting to break into it. And Daniel did the editing for this last one, and the whole deal is pretty much, whoever gets the gig for the duo is going to end up editing it. So
That's interesting. Yeah.
he did the editing for the last one. I think he's also going to do the editing for this one coming up. So technically, I have no actual wedding cinematography experience, but at the same time, I've been doing videos and short films for around 2 or 3 years now. So,
Well, it sounds like a good situation, to have someone that you work with over and over again, and
Yeah.
you help each other out. You both contribute. I haven't thought about the whole like if you get it, you edit it kind of mentality, but that makes sense. That's smart.
yeah.
So are you looking to just expand volume? Going to gradually increase quality as you get more, or is it still a side project compared to other stuff? And of course, you're a fucking college student, so
Yeah.
you gotta focus on that, dude. Making money is cool, but
Yeah.
you're spending a lot of money to go to college, so
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
you should focus on that.
Yeah, I'm spending a lot of money to go to classes every now and then and eat terrible dorm food, although
Mm.
occasionally it's good. Um,
Like
and also,
the pancake nights. Do you guys have pancake nights?
oh, I think there was one time we had like a midnight breakfast kind of deal when we were having the finals frenzy. So we had
Yeah.
like breakfast in the middle of the night, and I didn't end up showing up to that because I was busy studying.
Oh wow.
Typical me. Actually, no, I was probably doing something having to do with videos, because if I'm not uh, in classes or studying, I'm usually doing this. So it's not even much of a side project so much as it is my second profession, my double major in a way.
Hmm.
Although it's not officially a double major.
You just put on yourself. So you're not going to college for film or media. Technically, it is computer science, correct? So
Yes.
how does that do, what are the similarities between these two professions that you like? Because you kind of want to marry them together in
Yeah.
some way to make a career, and it's totally doable. But what do you see?
Well, there is obviously what
Minecraft. Minecraft.
Minecraft. There's Minecraft. Um, no, that's where I started out for most of my first 2 or 3 years. Is I do a lot of gaming videos, hence why the beautiful setup with the
Mm,
mic. But
mhm.
speaking of which, I need to kind of move that out of the way a little bit. But with video and film, they're just they are just becoming so close together with the digital age, having DSLRs like the one that's sitting up here right now, recording me. Hi. Um, they're they're just so close together now. So things like codecs, things like image processing, it's all digital. The idea of raw, like how much information from the sensor can you pack into a digital file, and then the firmware that these cameras operate on. Obviously, like Magic Lantern was is a camera hack basically for Canon. Although I saw a few days ago you were having some trouble with that, so I
Yeah.
sorry about that.
It's
um,
not so much just the problems with Magic Lantern, but it's more just a sign of the times that everything that Sony is coming out with,
yeah.
makes Magic Lantern obsolete. So
Hmm.
pretty soon Canon's going to do the same. So,
Yeah. I mean, like,
which is okay.
yeah, firmware is a big plays a big role in how technology is optimized, and computer science is all about learning how not just how to code or not just how to make a program, but how these programs are structured, what makes an efficient program, and how it interacts with the hardware that we use. So, like developing camera firmware, Nikon. I've used Nikon, which is not like the official place to start out for video. Usually it's Canon. So, but Nikon has beautiful image quality, and it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere out there is someone who coded a firmware hack for a Nikon camera to maybe optimize uh, settings, or like maybe have it record to a different codec, although that also falls to the image processor. There are all these different ways that computers and film are coming together in just this its own sort of marriage, that really just makes it more practical now than ever to combine the two. And if you want to look at them from two separate angles, filming and music, I play trombone, but film and music are what satisfy my creativity, and computer science satisfies my logic.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got this balance that plays into it. So,
awesome.
Yeah, they truly have become both like equally important to me.
Mm-hmm. Can you what language are you learning? Or
learned? Our particular university is teaching off of C++. I am probably going to be breaking more into Java because Minecraft. But also other applications. Java is very widely used nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Plural.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
So everybody, doing a coaching call with Seth. Look at this kid. He's young. He's in college. He's awesome. Snapchat. How you doing?
Yeah.
No one can hear you.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be called "No One Can Hear You." So.
No one can hear me. I actually. I need to snap up my Snapchat account because I am not on Snapchat.
You gotta get on Snapchat, bro.
I've got Facebook. I've got Twitter. Twitter, honestly, in one of my videos I talked about how Twitter has really been like the most important social network for me. Because you can get in touch with literally anyone, and because the respond limit is 140 characters, people know it's not going to take forever to respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great way to connect with someone that you have no business connecting with. It's the quickest way to close the gap between creepy stalking, like I just found your info online. Like in no other platform can you just find a hashtag and then strike up a conversation with someone that you've no tie to.
Yeah.
On Facebook, you have to friend them. You have to like send a message. It's weird. Yeah. On everything else, it's weird. So that's what I like about Twitter. But get on Snapchat. You should get on Snapchat, and you should up your Snapchat game because that shit is going to be huge it's already huge right now.
Oh yeah. No. That's I'll just surf over to the App Store here while we talk. But yeah, like my brand thing, I guess you could call it, Cubicle Productions, is one of those things where I feel like it's a job, to me at least, that kind of goes on the same level as my computer science. The difficult issue is once again the balance, finding that professional life. How far do I dip my toes into the proverbial pool, in order that I can still maintain my studies, but at the same time, learn all of these wonderful things about making movies and emotionally connecting with an audience through images and sound. So I actually have a couple of classes on my schedule this semester that deal with video, and one of them's a photography course, but the idea is that I'll possibly be able to minor or even double major in video production.
Mm-hmm.
So the programs here used to be separate. They had a film production and a video production, and now in the next semester they're officially combining the two into a single program. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a broader access to
makes sense,
a lot of different things.
So do you find yourself, because I found this during college, that I was, there was what you were learning in classes and stuff, and I took a bunch of more video and film classes than it sounds like you are, but are there workshops? Are you meeting up with people to shoot short films? Like you're doing this GoPro stuff for like just events on campus, but like how much of this profession is self-taught? Because it sounds like more of the computer science is like in lectures and tests and stuff, but the video is all on your own in between classes, right?
Well, and there's I'll use one of the courses I have. For example, I'm taking post-production right now. So that's dealing with After Effects and Photoshop and learning how to create motion graphics, which I am in sore need of learning. But it's a 3-hour class that's held once a week. And the idea is that you go into this 3-hour class and the teacher kind of instructs you in a very hands-on way to where you're using Photoshop or After Effects in class. And then also, if you have the resources, you can either go back to the room where they have all the editing stations, or if you have a computer that can run it, in my case, I do, you can work on it really on your own time. So a lot of the program here teaches very much on a hands-on basis where it is up to you to have the motivation and the motivation necessary to go out there and do these projects. So there are assignments and everything, but it's a lot of times, at least in my experience, it's been left up to the students involved to plan these projects.
Totally.
So now that's coming from a guy that has only one official course in the video program so far.
Because what are you? Are you a sophomore? Or what are you?
I am a freshman.
Freshman. Holy shit! Wow, that's cool. You're young, bro.
Yeah.
So honestly, like, it depends on the way that you learn, but I felt like I learned a bulk of editing video, technical production stuff from YouTube, from just reading on my own and just like meeting with other people outside of class.
Yeah.
And I saw college as the perfect chance to connect with people who were like-minded,
Exactly.
people who have time, and you live in dorms, you can meet up very easily somewhere and work on projects. So like, I think one of the biggest things that young college people should be focusing on are collaborations with other students on side projects, helping each other in any way, because I can't tell you the number of people that I still do work with.
Yeah.
Outside 3 years after college, it's the people that I met with and worked on crews outside of class that I'm networking with, and get probably 90% of my work through referrals from people that I know and I like hanging out with. So
Yeah.
these people that you're meeting in the classes, probably more important than what you're actually learning
Yeah.
through the PowerPoints and the lectures and whatnot.
And that was my perspective. Everyone has their perfect fit college, whatever the cliched phrase is nowadays. But I wanted a place where there was a developed computer science program, which this place has, and also had a decent film program so that I could meet other people that were like-minded, because perhaps the greatest creative frustration of my first 2 years of Cubicle Productions in high school was that no one at my high school really had similar interests to me. So when it came down to my senior year, my German teacher handed me the reins and basically allowed me to direct my entire senior German class in making a short film. But I was the only one there who actually had any, like, expressed any true I don't want to say true interest, because there were plenty of people who, without them, the project simply would not have been possible. But I was the one with the experience. I was the Spielberg of my high school, I guess you could say. So
And that all changes once you get to college,
Yeah.
because there's like-minded, equally as passionate people. And
Yeah.
that's really what college is about,
and that's what first semester was for me. It was a difficult semester, but my goal was to find at least one creative partner that I could begin to develop a relationship with.
And who was that?
Gee, I wonder. No, but so there were a few other people that I talked to, and I'd start to talk to them, tell them what I did, and but in a lot of instances, they themselves either were not film students, or they weren't as I'm not quite sure, maybe not as enthusiastic as I was about collaboration. But finding at Danny V Films, shameless plug, finding him was actually like the first time that I found someone to work with, and it was such an important moment for me, because I was finally no longer strictly a one-man band. And I finally had people that I could begin to work with. So this past Wednesday, was it Wednesday or no? It was Thursday. Wednesday. um, I had a friend of mine, ask me if I could help him out on a little film project because I guess he was taking a video class. And I was like, okay, maybe he just wants me to help him with a shot or two, maybe be part of the crew. And I ended up shooting, being there for his entire project and helping him shoot this, tiny little comedy sketch, that had to have a certain number and type of angles and shots. And it was a lot of fun to do. A lot more time than I expected, but it was a lot of fun in the end.
Always.
Just being there. Never lasts as long as you plan.
Yeah.
It's always longer.
Always. So you've got some time. You're young. You're already. It sounds like you have a good foundation for your YouTube channel. You're getting your website up. It's not up yet.
No.
I can access it.
Well, and that's the tricky part. So my I guess I could call him benefactor, my friend / benefactor who has purchased the domain for me. It used to link directly to my channel, my YouTube channel. Eventually, I had him take it off of the YouTube channel because I, for some genius reason, decided to put the domain on my business cards. And it's like, well, if I tell people I do video and everything, and then they go onto my channel and they see primarily a lot of gaming videos. And it's not exactly like what I'm trying to advertise myself as. And so 2016 is the big year of like beginning that transition, away from game content and more towards film and breaking into the industry. And occasionally, if I do game content, it's more intelligent game content. Like, how can I spin this game that I'm playing and make it more entertaining or cinematic? And I've experimented a lot with doing filmmaking within Minecraft.
Totally, yeah, I see it.
So
totally.
You can download like shader packs that improve the look of the game with the lighting. You can download texture packs that improve the physical appearance. You can download. There's a particular mod out there, like Camera Studio by Sushin. I don't know. That allows you to plot points within a world and then set a time, path type, and it will travel those points. And if you've got a screen recorder, it'll record the shot. So I've made a trailer that ended up getting featured on a 4.5 million subscriber YouTube channel, and it's got over like 250,000 views on his channel now.
It's not Yogscast, is it?
It is not Yogscast. It is Bayesian Canadian.
Oh, okay.
So
I know. Dude, like the connection between film and video game industry is like a natural progression.
Yeah.
It's no wonder that they're bringing in actual Hollywood directors to help with Call of Duty. Yeah, and just every game. The releases, the promotion, everything is looking very similar between the two industries. So that is really, really good for a computer science major who makes films.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. That sounds like a really, really good area of your passion to pursue because you can still, make the content and be creative and just make the stuff that you want to make, but eventually start to monetize that and control that instead of just shooting it for other clients. Even though you mentioned, doing some freelance work within the game too for these larger channels, but
yeah.
Sounds fun. Why not stop doing that? Do more of that.
Well, part of me is like, I love doing video game videos, but another part of it is that I like more intelligent content. I like short films that convey emotion. I like short films that really kind of push the boundaries of what we think is possible. So perfect example is a lot of what Corridor Digital, Rocket Jump, what they do, not only in visual effects, but just in, writing in the content that they create. And I wanted to move more towards that live action experience. So I really, my ultimate goal was to make these short films. And while, yes, it is a pain to motivate myself to get out there and do it, once I'm out there and I'm shooting a short film and I'm directing people, I have the time of my life doing a lot of that. So I made like a whole series with my German short film, which I subtitled it for YouTube. So people weren't just watching other people talking German.
Of course.
um, but I, made this behind the scenes series. I had a director's chair series where I basically, it was me spilling the beans on like everything that I did for in the project to get everything working, from sound design to video work to how much time we had. So I love video game videos, but Minecraft has very much transitioned from an older audience to a younger audience, and with a younger audience, they're not going for this intelligent content that I really want to make. They're looking for the Markiplier, Jacksepticeye kind of more expressive style. That's just reacting to everything. And I want to.
It's entertainment versus information.
Yeah,
so
entertainment versus information and emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Julian Smith. I don't know if you've seen Julian Smith on YouTube. He does a lot. He used to do a lot of sketches. He's getting back into that. And
Milk.
his
his Milk sketch. I've seen a bunch of them. Yeah.
They are so good. But yeah, like his sort of content is a little bit more intelligent, maybe a little stranger than what you're used to, but in its own very intelligent kind of way. And he's doing like commercials now, and he's got the Hollywood connections. Someone that I haven't mentioned at this point that I really should is my YouTube buddy Out of Sync Samurai, who I met 2 years ago, and we have done countless Minecraft videos together. We've spent literally hours and hours on Skype, just talking about stuff, but we would really like to, meet at some point and collaborate on these projects. So, we're starting to get more serious about the stuff that we want to put out. We want to make it look great, because that's the goal, is getting better and, learning. It's learning.
Those collaborations are how you expand. It's really important.
Yeah.
Totally. Love it. Awesome. So, equipment-wise, are you renting from the school? Can you do that? Or do you have to shoot with all Danny's stuff?
Well, last semester, Daniel had a very wide array of equipment with him, so much so that when it came time for me to shoot a short film that I wanted to do, which actually I'm going to be reshooting, but for a good reason, we ended up being able to borrow the red Scarlet that the school has. And it's fully kitted out with like a cinema zoom lens and, a matte box and Anton Bauer batteries and all this crazy stuff. And so I got to use this one night for a short film. And it was such an amazing experience that I owe to him for, so few people starting out get their hands on a red that soon. So to have that experience and to learn from it and to realize, maybe I'm not quite ready for something like that yet, because I can handle a red workflow. I successfully, I wrangled the footage, I edited it, but the type of setup they had, I could tell was definitely not something that I liked personally. So eventually, when I make the short film again, when I produce it again, and I'm going to be using my Nikon and all of the other equipment that I have, it's going to be an entirely different experience, and it's going to be something to reflect on and learn from. What was the difference? What was great about using the red? What was great about using the Nikon? So it's about getting your hands on as many different pieces of equipment as possible.
I think it's really wise to think in terms of getting more out of less.
Yeah.
I think you can learn way more from that, instead of, it's nice to get your hands on some expensive, cool gear that you haven't touched before. But remembering that story and writing and meeting and having all the pre-production done beforehand and knowing how to deal with different personalities and how
Yeah.
to keep an actor happy and on point instead of like, ruining the day as far as morale.
Yeah.
Um, if I had an extra $500 to spend on a film production, like a short film or something, I'd probably spend it on crafty, just to get some food to keep
Yeah.
everyone happy, rather than
Absolutely.
upgrading from from a 5D Mark III to like a C300. I'd rather spend it on food, food and transportation. Keep them happy, keep them there,
Yeah.
because that goes a long way.
There's a big band saying, like, we in high school, we band students don't care about getting paid for performance. We just want free food.
hmm
Um
You bring
so
you drop a pizza down halfway through a shoot, people love that shit.
oh yeah. No, and that's what was also very unique about shooting that short film last semester, was that I also, on top of getting the red for the night, I'd also storyboarded it, using animation as opposed to drawing, because I absolutely suck at drawing. um, like I ended up getting them dinner. We had, it was a very organized kind of night. So,
hmm
we had a few people, come and go because they had things to do. But it was really the first time that there were like all of the aspects of a production were there. Everything from, like morale to equipment to people, to having all of us there just having fun and making this thing, and
hmm
um, eating dinner kind of, on the go, in that, cliched, getting ready to go style, um, aka stuffing it down your throat and trying
Right.
to enjoy it. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely a really important part, is, you know, not just making, the actual act of making a film, but also all of the behind the scenes stuff, learning how to manage it, learning how to keep your people happy, because when they're happy, the movie's better, the film's
hmm
better. So,
And for people learning how to operate camera and editing, there's nothing better than, them just taking a camera, following a production or something, shooting like a behind the scenes, and
oh
then
yeah,
just having like a quick highlight ready and edited by the next day. Like that will teach you so much about film production.
oh yeah.
And for every single thing, someone should be on point as far as just doing BTS, because
Hmm.
that's easy and fun and good.
And that's actually exactly one of the things that I love doing, is I love having that behind the scenes, because there's so much information in that. You know, my my parents were like, we don't need to buy the special edition DVD, and I would always just go, yes, you do, because otherwise you don't learn what goes into that. You don't get to
hmm
see, not just the bloopers, but the behind the scenes. You don't get to see all of that being done. Those were always the gold for me. I've seen the movie before. I've never seen that. You know, if I could just buy a bunch of DVDs for the special features,
hmm
that's why they're at a premium, because there's more time that goes into making those.
hmm
And I sat on set for a student film last semester as well. Right before I shot my own. They were shooting something on my floor.
I'll tell you, college is different for everyone, so it's
Yeah.
what you make it. I did a lot of workshops, I did a lot of side projects. That's what made it worth it.
Oh
But
yeah.
man,
I learned.
you
I
got a lot of
learned.
time ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you got a lot of time ahead, so you're
Yeah.
just getting in.
I learned that from my post production professor, who happens to be, I think, the chair of the video production program. But they are actually going to be having someone come in for a weekend class, basically on color grading, on color correction and color grading. And we'd be playing around with, DaVinci Resolve, and apparently, I guess they have like the full editing suite with the big layout and the controllers and everything. And that's like a weekend course. And I just like immediately, I kind of like sat up in my chair, like, can I be in this? Can I
Just
be a part
go.
of this? So
Just
I
show
need to
up.
find out the information for that and sign up, because it's a Friday and a Saturday. And
hmm
there's so much to be learned from that, especially in art so difficult as like color grading and color correction. Those are
hmm
really tricky. So,
It sounds dope. I
Yeah,
would totally go to that and
yeah,
just own it.
yeah. So it is all about connections. You know,
Yeah.
get the
So what's
word.
next?
Let's see.
You're
For me,
focusing on classes, but yeah, what like you probably have a bunch of projects in mind for like stuff that you want to do with your YouTube and
oh yeah,
like obviously you got to get that website up, bro. That should take
yeah.
like a week.
Well,
Should
um,
get that up.
I didn't. So actually, this is kind of funny because I started to tell this story earlier. So I am going to be using a platform provider, a website hoster called The Grid,
Mm,
which is an artificial intelligence website builder that you basically give your content to it, and it will automatically design the website based on what you want it to be.
mm,
And you can obviously like tweak a bunch of different settings on it. But right now, the grid is in beta because they're really trying to develop their product and put it out there. But they've been trickling in beta testers like Chinese water torture. And, you know, I've been waiting. I think the ticket number is that we have is something like 60,000, and they're on I think like
wow.
60,000, and they're on 16,000 or 17,000.
Wow.
So and they started dropping in beta testers almost 6 months ago. So they've been just going at the pace of you know a slug, a snail. But once we do get access to it, it should be really nice. It should be really intuitive, and it'll be a really great way to present um, the material that I have so far. And of course, worst comes to worst, I just I buy a Squarespace site and I build it beautiful, as the Linus Tech Tips ads say.
Oh,
Um,
we got so many Squarespace ads up in the subway.
God.
And that's all it says. It just shows some stuff on a table and
Yeah,
then build it beautiful.
yeah. It's like that's great.
Yeah.
Just everywhere, build it beautiful. No, but they're a viable alternative. Um, Eventually, when you start possibly going to work for different companies, they may not even want a website. They may want a sample DVD, that you can put together. That's kind of like a portfolio or something like that.
Hmm.
But those are a lot of time to put together, and you got to pick out just like the right mix of content. What are you being hired for, and how can you kind of appease that? What experience do you have in that field? So, and that's actually, by the time my post production course is over this semester, the final project is going to be putting together a DVD just like that. And because I already have enough experience in Photoshop and DVD structuring and designing, um, I'll be able to order a couple of those and be able to mail them out to people. There's a website I use called Mixonic, and they do custom DVD CD manufacturing. And you can design the labels and send them in, and a couple weeks down the road, you get this fresh set of beautiful looking pieces. So they're a resource that I've taken advantage of numerous times because disc printing is expensive.
Mm.
Um,
What about online options though? DVDs are dead. It's a dead medium.
so online,
No one uses DVDs anymore. What are you talking about?
yeah,
I haven't made a DVD in 2 years. Computers are not even including optical drives, and that's phasing out. And
yeah.
like,
This laptop does not have an optical drive.
spinning
Um,
hard drives are on the way out. Like
yeah,
Flash already has taken over, and pretty soon it's all going to be cloud based. So,
yeah. It's absolutely crazy. Um, but as for the channel in the future, I glossed over this a lot in my early 2016 videos, but this is really the transition point. I didn't post much first semester, but now I'm back, bigger and badder, and um, I'm really transitioning from that gamer sort of style content to the both the vlogs and the short films. Um, my high school years were really just kind of like testing the waters, and now it's really time to dive in and start doing more work, getting myself out there and filming things and going places and meeting people. um, and I'm not necessarily looking to go, PewDiePie big on YouTube like a lot of people are when they sign up. But
Hmm.
it is my goal to reach a larger audience naturally. And my audience will level off where it levels off on YouTube. You get to a certain point and it's just gonna, plateau. That's kind of a natural thing that I've learned from studying YouTube for a long time. Um, but the channel and the channels will evolve, and as I learn how to make these videos better and faster. So that's the channel end of it. But the website itself is also going to be a reflection of how far I've come. So there's going to be like a portfolio page. You'll have more of a blog style page that's like, latest videos from this and that.
Hmm.
Much in the same sense that you have Wedding Film School and Emissary Studios. And then your to be named channel that you announced in the works earlier today.
So, February coming
February.
soon.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty excited for that. Craigslist, I think, is a good name for it.
I've
um,
got that joke so many times. So old.
I'm so sorry then. I didn't realize, like, it would have been funny though.
That's actually what it is. You nailed it.
Oh,
It's Craigslist. You got it.
yes.
How'd
Okay.
you know? Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, so one thing that I would recommend is that every year you schedule a release of a reel. So whether it's commercial or just everything modged together, it can be anywhere from a minute to 3 minutes. It's super easy. You can just mute all the clips, take the best of whatever you want, put a song under it, and then just promote that
Yeah.
like every year on this day. Like, um, I don't think filmmakers do that enough. And if you have anything on your portfolio page, like especially when you're young and you're still trying to get like client
Yeah.
based work,
That demo reel is going to be at the top.
yeah, just put it on your site. That's all people need to see.
Yeah. And
They don't have much time to skip around and find what videos to check out. Just send them 1 minute video. Boom.
yeah. And that's like, a lot of times when you submit a resume, the first page is the only one that gets looked at, and if they're not
Hmm.
impressed, they throw it aside. So it's
Hmm.
really that first page. Um, and honestly, the demo reel would end up being something like the trailer that I would put on the channel. I don't have one yet, and I've been desperately trying to find a way, to be inspired to make one that looks really nice. And
Hmm.
that's always been kind of a struggle for me, is searching through all my videos and saying what is good enough to put together in this 1 minute video that can showcase my content, but at the same time tell the story of where I am right now. So like
Hmm.
looking through all of these videos, it's more than likely that my demo reel for 2015 is going to include quite a bit of Minecraft content still.
That's
Simply,
totally fine.
yeah, simply because that's where I started from, and it's also going to include a lot of the other work that I've done in the past year.
Hmm.
Um, but it's finding the balance, because I don't just want to overload people with gaming. It needs to be very well rounded, in the sense that a professional client looking to possibly hire me on to make videos sees my demo reel and finds a bunch of Minecraft videos.
Yeah.
Is
That's what you think, but I think it's a lot different than perceived. I've gotten work from work that I didn't think I would get it from.
hmm,
It's the path to where you'll find some of these paid gigs is way different than what you think. And honestly, most of it just comes down to your personal brand, how
yeah,
well you connect with these people. People want to work with people that they like. They'll hire people they like over people who have the technical skill and stuff sometimes. More than not. So honestly, get something up. I know it sounds like a big task, but honestly, you could
yeah,
probably whip it up in an hour or two.
yeah.
If
And
you have all of your stuff easy on YouTube or on a hard drive, just put those videos in a folder, throw all them in a timeline, and just trim it up real quick. You
yeah,
could do it
that
real quick.
was that was the thing that kind of surprised me, because I'm trying to put all of this thought into it, and Daniel, like, I really need to make a demo reel, and like 3 hours later, Facebook, here's my demo reel, check it out. And
Hmm.
I just look at it like, you've got to be kidding me.
Hmm.
We got it done just like that. And so I don't know if I'm just overthinking it, or you know
Probably. You
that's
could probably do it real quick. Know what the
over.
trick is? Set a date.
Yeah, set a date.
Announce it publicly.
Hmm.
People, I will have a demo reel February 2nd. Boom. And then you
Done.
gotta do it. You gotta
Yeah.
do it.
Yep. That's really what I have to do. I work all right. I work well with deadlines. As stressful as it is, I work well with them.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that might be the key. But also, there's the sad history of the fact that like several times, on YouTube, it's like, I'm quitting YouTube, and then like 2 weeks later, I'm back, guys. you know, like the whole Eeyore kind of deal, tail between the
Hmm.
legs. Um, but my goal this time is to not back down and think of it less as I'm quitting YouTube and more as, I'm working on a lot of outside projects. Because for all of the years that I had the channel, I would always talk about how there was a lot of stuff going on outside of it that I didn't put up on YouTube. And so this new approach to my channel is going to be a fusion between what I do outside of YouTube and what goes on in the channel. So hopefully being able to, put out a demo reel and a trailer is going to it has been and will continue to be kind of like a rite of passage for me,
Hmm.
and it's just getting there and doing it that's important. So, um, yeah,
Commitments.
yep,
Get rid of the little stuff that doesn't matter and just focus on what's important.
yeah,
You got plenty of distractions.
hmm,
That's a big part of it.
yep, absolutely. It's
Or
And then if you get too distracted, I've had nights where I've planned to work on animation and ended up watching YouTube and eating chips the whole night because I was just tired and done with
hmm.
class. And, it's more of like that person on your shoulder that slaps you across the face and says, "Get going."
Hmm.
That's going to be the
Yeah.
saving grace in a way.
Holding
So,
yourself accountable is easier when you have a partner in crime. So,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
cool.
yeah. So, um it I guess now let's see if I had a list of questions, but they're on that computer. um let's see. Is
What
there any
kinds of questions?
let's see. Um I don't want to like seem like I'm taking up too much time, but are you in a particular rush to
No,
do
no, no,
anything?
no.
Okay.
Let me know what's going on.
Um let's see. Is there any particular place that you go to find jobs, or is it mostly just word of mouth advertising?
90% referral.
Okay.
Everything else is marketing. I don't go anywhere to find jobs. Uh, the work that I put out attracts a certain type of client, and the work that I put out also detracts, pushes away the type of client I don't want.
Yeah.
Saying no is so important to getting good work. Probably say no to 50% of what comes in
Yeah.
because A, price point isn't there. B, logistically, it's a distraction towards other projects that might be more important. And then C, it's not fun. If it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. Because if you do stuff that's not fun, you're just going to get more non-fun
Non-fun
work.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you shoot for budget brides, you're going to get more budget brides. You got to find a way to break the mold, take risks.
Yeah. And frankly, that's one of the things that both Daniel and I, that both of us have trouble in right now is pricing ourselves effectively, because there's professional pricing, but at the same time we're still learning,
Hmm.
and so we obviously can't expect to charge at a professional rate to do these gigs, but at the same time we do need something to kind of compensate us for transportation and travel. Um, so and a lot of it comes from, in a lot of my experience, we talk to couples, and sure, they're friends or something, they're expecting a discount, and that's totally fine. But then when we do put up a price for them, they'll come back like 2 weeks later and they'll just say, well, we can't afford to pay you anything, so will you still do it? And usually, because we still need experience, the answer is yes. But it's going to get to a point where we'll have to cross that line to where we have enough experience now to where we cannot be saying yes to all of these gigs anymore. So there's going to come that point where it's, you got to say no. And
Saying yes to that type of gig is a miserable experience, and it will ruin your business. That transition out of saying yes to everything, giving discounts, and letting the client control the type of work you're doing and how you're doing it, when you're doing it,
nah,
it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not going to last. Most people get burned out and then fail before they make that change. But the people who change out of that command their price, get the clients they want, and have the balls to say, no, we're not a good fit. That's okay.
yeah.
And then move on.
Having, being a musician as well and seeing where that world is. I keep seeing a meme every now and then pop up on my Facebook feed, and on the left side there's a very small column. It says what you think you're paying a musician for, and it said to perform at X event. And on the right side what you're actually paying them for, and it's rehearsal time, transportation costs, equipment fees, the rehearsal space, rehearsal time, paying other band members, this entire list of things that actually go into that pricing, taxes and stuff included in that. So and that really just kind of strikes at the heart of the issue. You think you're paying someone to use equipment that they already have to go in and film something, but in reality we've got to rent equipment, we've got to, transportation costs.
You really have to charge what you need to charge.
Yeah.
Like the moment you break down all of these costs, it kind of doesn't make sense in the terms of like these brides have no idea how to price what they're getting.
Yeah.
Like how do you set a value to actually what you're doing? Like it's not a tech, like it's one, you're providing a luxury service.
Mm-hmm.
What's a wedding? A wedding is a big party.
Yeah.
Technically you could get married for $200. So they're having a big party, and then you're coming in to document and just like do this thing that doesn't have, you don't have to have a photographer, you don't have to have a filmmaker at your wedding. So it's completely okay for them to be like, you're too expensive, and then you just be like, okay, that's fine, we're not the right fit. The biggest thing that I had to learn was that like I didn't realize at every single price point it's the same but it's different. Like if someone's willing to pay $5,000 for a wedding package, there are people who think that's way expensive, and people who are just like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
It all comes down to just how much they trust you. It's a trust thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't value your work, the price isn't going to be right. So like, why would you ever give a discount to someone who doesn't value what you said? If you say it's going to cost $2,000 to do this, if they don't believe you, that is the first red flag.
Yeah.
Like anyone who asks for a discount, that is not the type of client you want to shoot for.
And I think confidence plays a really big deal in it, because if you don't present yourself as a professional, even if you are just still like learning the craft, you're always going to be learning, but even if you are just still getting started, if you don't present yourself as someone to be taken seriously, that's less and less of a chance that the bride and groom or whatever client you have is going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also once you get paid, it was interesting you put out the video about getting paid online, and when you get paid now, taking, was it something like 80% of it up front in the video?
It's 20% up front,
20%.
and then 80% the rest of it before I even shoot the wedding. So
yeah. I've been stung enough times by both not being paid at all, although that was a very minor project, so that was a little more acceptable of a loss, behind doors, not necessarily publicly. Like, that's still stupid, but it's more acceptable to learn that lesson then, then to be ratted out on a very big project that you were supposed to be paid a lot for, that took a lot of your time.
Mm-hmm.
And also late payment is an issue. You want to get paid by a certain date, and then it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. It's all about setting expectations. It goes both ways. It's clear up front, and it's planned out. And if things don't go to plan, that's why you have contracts, and you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
The business shouldn't be personal. It should be very straightforward and very simple. So,
yeah.
All right, dude. This was great. Let's continue this conversation. On Twitter.
On Twitter.
Word. But I'm excited to see what you do with your YouTube. And we should definitely collab in some way.
Oh yeah, no, I am super excited to even talk to you because
on a Let's Play Wedding Film School Minecraft episode, we should do a live broadcast of us just fucking each other up with like diamond swords and shit.
That would be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you ever want to do any of that gaming stuff, like even though I don't do much of it anymore, I still have everything to do it. So
we should make a church in Minecraft and then just like get a bunch of us Wedding Film School people in there and then just release like 100 zombie photographers and we just have to like slay through them.
Have like the name tag say photographer on top, There's a way to do it. No, that would be really cool. And as always, it's great to be able to talk to you and other professionals about what I do, because that really is where things get kicked off. And it's one thing to watch your videos and learn from them and kind of admire what you do, and it's another thing entirely to have the living, breathing, reacting person on the other line.
I am real.
You are real.
Yeah. If you're ever in New York City, hit me up, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah. One of Daniel's and my own's personal goal is to visit B&H at some point. So we are going to have a very fun time should that happen.
It is the filmmaker mecca. So
yeah. But I will certainly let you know if we're in New York. And if you want to do anything Minecraft, let me know. I have a server that I maintain that I can switch to really whatever I want.
Bro, you want Realms? Or is it on Realms, or do you have your own server?
It's off of Realms, so I can literally do mods or anything else.
Okay, fancy.
That you could imagine. Right.
We'll make it happen.
Absolutely. So
we'll put some feelers out. We're like, who plays Minecraft? Wedding Film School. Yeah. All right, we'll see. All right, brother. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too. I hope you guys did enjoy that interview with Kraig Adams from Wedding Film School and Emissary Studios. If you guys did like the video and you want to see more of either his channel or mine, you can hit Kraig up right here on his Wedding Film School channel. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more of this kind of stuff. I mean, this is really like awesome for me to meet up with these professionals and talk to the real deal. Anyway, I do apologize that the camera went out mid-recording, but I hope the webcam thing that I was able to kind of pull up off to the side was sufficient for you guys. But in any event, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. So until next time, I am Seth from Cubicle Productions, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.